So Chandler, first, thank you for taking the time for the interview. I want to start to talk about France with you. Mm-hmm. You remember you played in France during the local 2011. How do you landed in Cholet?
So I had been to Paris before I had been to Cholet, and completely different cities, completely different towns. But I liked it. It was an adjustment period for me. Obviously, you just get drafted and you're going through this high of finally making it to the NBA, and there's a lockout. So there's no season. I'm going and I get an offer from Cholet, which is a great, respected, organization over there. They were playing for the EuroLeague, and so it was awesome. I knew a couple of the Americans that were going to be on the team, so I went there for like 2.5 months, and it was awesome. It was great. I loved my teammates. It was really a good time kind of traveling, seeing Europe for really the first time, just a kid from Orlando. I had never really spent time overseas, so there was an adjustment period of culture and basketball-wise. The game is completely different, so I struggled at times. It was frustrating at times. Me and the coach, I played for this Turkish coach who I didn't really see eye to eye with him.
Herman Kunter.
Yeah, Kunter, I call him. Yeah, he was.
You call him like this?
Huh?
You called him like this?
Yeah, probably. He was just tough, and there was some sort of some riff in between us where, he didn't play me some games, I didn't dress some games, I was going through some injury stuff, but besides my relationship with him, I had a great time just kind of exploring all of Europe, exploring France. I really enjoyed myself over there.
What do you remember the most about this time?
Well, first of all, those crowds are crazy. When you play in those games, the crowds, the atmosphere is completely different. You see policemen and SWAT team around the court. The crowds are nuts. I remember there was smoke. They smoked cigarettes inside the gyms. So that was different. That was crazy.
You remember the name of the arena? La Meillerie.
Oh, yeah.
La Meillerie.
Yeah. That place was cool. And again, the relationships that you made there were special. And again, obviously the goal was to get back to the NBA and for the season to start and the lockout to end, but having that time to kind of just expand my horizons and be more cultured and learn everything, I loved it. It was funny, I didn't speak any French, and so we'd go to these restaurants, and I remember I went to McDonald's, which the McDonald's over there are very nice. They're not like here in America. And I remember on all the signs, it said merci on the trash cans. So I go and I said merci. And so I thought it meant trash. So everywhere I go in France, they keep saying merci, merci. I'm like, why the fuck they call me trash this whole time? Until I realized it meant thank you. So that was an interesting time.
Also, you play with the young Rudy and Fabien Causeur. Do you have some news about Fabien Causeur?
Yeah, no, Fab. He was a stud, lefty. Yeah, he kind of reminded me a little Ginobili type. He was a really good player. He still plays in Europe?
Yeah, he's playing Milan right now, but he played a lot with Real Madrid, with a lot of success. With a lot of success. So now he plays in Milan. He's like an OG in EuroLeague, but he's still playing.
No, he was great, and it's funny because you heard, we signed this young kid at the time who was Rudy Gobert, and they're talking about, oh, he's a huge NBA prospect, and he was very raw. He was tall, he was skinny, couldn't catch the ball. Like he was a raw. But the potential was through the roof, and you kind of saw flashes of it. You saw brilliance of it. He was a great kid. He worked hard. You could coach him hard, so you kind of saw flashes of how good he can be. And I only spent 2 months or so with him, but the growth he's made, and I've gotten close with him off the court too. He's just being a new father, and the media kind of gives him a hard time sometimes, but he's an awesome dude, and he's one of the greatest defensive players ever in the history of the NBA. So he's had a hell of a career. So it's been fun to kind of see him from the start at Cholet all the way to now. It's been awesome.
Do you know, right now, Cholet is a leader of the French League?
They are?
Yeah.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Who they got right now? They got some good, they have...
a lot of players.
Who's like their best American right now?
TJ Campbell, the old point guard, but
yeah,
not a great start, but great... They play great basketball together.
Different coach.
Yeah, different coach, of course. Don't worry about that. Herman Kunter.
Well, I'm always pulling for Cholet.
No more coaching Cholet.
Depuis plusieurs mois, certains membres First Team ont rejoint Trade Republic. Et c'est d'ailleurs cette banque qui sponsorise cette vidéo. Grâce à eux, tu peux investir de l'argent automatiquement, sans avoir besoin de t'en occuper. Allez, on t'explique ça. Depuis janvier 2024, on utilise la carte Mirror, qui en plus d'être un magnifique objet, te permet surtout d'avoir du SafeBack. Le SafeBack à 1%, c'est en gros convertir les dépenses en investissement. Tous les mois, vos transactions payées en carte sont cumulées, puis réinvesties dans les plans d'épargne que vous aurez choisis. Automatique, il n'a rien besoin de faire. Toi qui continues à suivre le basket et analyser chaque match sans avoir besoin d'analyser tes investissements, c'est cool, non? Autre avantage direct, celui de gagner 3% d'intérêt brut sur les fonds non dépensés. C'est-à-dire que l'argent présent sur vos comptes qui rapporte 0%, cette fois, vous rapporte de l'argent automatiquement. On va pas s'en plaindre. Et parmi les grandes nouveautés de 2025, tu pourras utiliser ton compte courant avec un IBAN français. Il y aura même l'arrivée du tout premier plan d'épargne en action sans frais sur les plans d'épargne. Si tu n'es absolument pas familier à tous ces termes, on te conseille de prendre le temps d'étudier la question d'abord, puis ensuite de télécharger l'application Trade Republic avec pour seul but de faciliter l'épargne, l'investissement et la dépense.
So Chandler, how have you been doing since retirement?
Yeah, it was fun. A lot of the NBA players, a lot of athletes in general, it's kind of a scary process. It's kind of a scary adjustment going from such a structure, such an NBA schedule, to go into the real world and real life. So it happened to me at a good time where I was engaged, I was getting married. COVID happened to where the whole world kind of stopped, right? So it wasn't just my basketball career. It wasn't. The whole world was going through something crazy and unique and rare and awful that we never really experienced before. I got in a bad car crash, so a lot happened at this time. So it was frustrating. I definitely don't think I was done playing yet, and it was hard for me kind of to swallow to realize that this is it and what am I going to do in post basketball. But you know what? I found peace with it. I found kind of doing a podcast. I started doing some appearances on shows and podcasts and really enjoyed it. To where kind of now I'm in season 3 of my FanDuel show, Run It Back, which is awesome. I have 2 kids now. I developed a love for golf, travel a bunch, so I'm really happy. I'm healthy, and you know, it was a dream come true. My dream as a kid was so far-fetched to even make the NBA. So the fact that I, lived out my dream was awesome.
So you look fit.
Yeah, I still work out.
Yeah, you still work out?
Still work out 3 or 4 times a week. Play pickleball, play a lot of golf, but yeah, I got a daughter. I gotta stay strong.
You should some free sometimes.
It's like riding a bike.
Yeah,
it's like riding a bike. You know, it's funny. My knees are so fucked that they're not good. Like I can't play anymore. Like a lot of these guys you see playing like the big 3 or the TBT tournaments that they have. Drew League even, like I'm not gonna do any of that, but yeah, I can still shoot.
Tell me more about your show. Run It Back?
Yeah, so
tell me more about it.
Yeah, so Run It Back, we're in our 3rd year. We have a legendary host, Michelle Beadle, who's, man, she's awesome. She's hilarious. She's one of the guys. She can bullshit. She knows her stuff. She's sharp. She gets us from topic to topic. And then my co-host is Lou Will, who's a legendary NBA player, 6th Man of the Year, absolute hooper, stud. So it's fun. We basically talk about all things NBA, a little gambling segment. We have fun with it. We have great guests. Mostly studio here in LA, but then we do some via Zoom. But FanDuel, it's a great company from the top to the bottom. All the producers, the directors. It's been really, really easy and something I hope to do for a really long time.
How is to be an NBA analyst when you've been an NBA player for almost 10 years? Can you say everything you want?
You have to tread lightly. You have to have a little balance, especially. You have relationships with players and with coaches and different organizations and owners of the team, so you definitely pick your balance. And
bro code.
Yeah. You pick your battles and you have a balance of what you want to do. But at the end of the day, I'm pretty honest, and I call it how I see it. I put my twist on it with my sense of humor and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm not like a clickbait guy. I'm not just saying hot takes to say hot takes to get views. I'm pretty real and pretty honest about it. Sometimes I'm wrong, sometimes I'm right, but for the most part, I'd say I'm pretty fair.
There are more and more former NBA players becoming broadcasters. How important do you think it is to have former player broadcasting or having a platform to talk about the game?
Yeah, I think it's really important because no one knows the game like we do. No one's been in those film sessions. No one's been in those training camps. No one's been kind of in that NBA environment more so than a player. So they know, what it's like losing 5 in a row. They know what it's like going tanking and going to the lottery, or being one of the top teams, or coming off a championship and managing expectations. So players' point of view are huge, because you automatically have that respect, you have that trust in them that they know what they're talking about. And so when you see guys like Charles and Shaq, and obviously their show is unbelievable and they're so funny, they can say certain things that other guys can't, because those are legends. They've been there before. They've been in your shoes. And as a player, when I was a player, I would respect an older guy that's come and give me advice. And I got to play for Kevin McHale. It was unbelievable. So it's like, how could I not trust this guy who's done it before me, who succeeded at the highest level, who won championships, multiple All-Stars. So when you do have that experience and that resume, I think you do get a little bit more respect, you get more clout, and I think your opinion on things is more validated.
So now you are an NBA analyst, so let's talk about the game. Yeah. How have the games changed in the last 10 years?
It's changed a lot. I think the first thing you look at is three-point shooting. The teams are playing faster. They're Boston Celtics, they're shooting 53s a game. So there's no such thing as a bad shot. And so teams play faster. Teams really expose the three-point line a lot. It's less physical. And I hate when old players are like, oh, the game is soft now. It's not soft. It's just that's how the game is officiated now. So certain guys, James Harden, Joel Embiid, they've mastered the art of getting fouled and getting to the free throw line as a strategy. So you look at the tic-tac foul calls, and I think a lot of old players don't think players now could play back then because of the physicality. But to me, that's just how the game has changed. The game has evolved. The game is different. So you have to adjust. Players have to play to this type of tempo. It's a shooter's league. Everybody's got to shoot. You see centers pick and pop, 5-minute shoot. You see guys like Wemby, who's 7'6", that can shoot the three ball. So the game is so different now, to where you have to be able to shoot. You have to be able to defending without fouling, because there's no hand checking anymore. So and it's a lot faster.
Do you think it's a good thing to watch, to see all the freeze like this during the game?
I'm 50-50 on it. I think it's a more entertaining, better product to watch when the score is so high and there's so many action-packed threes and highlights that you can watch. But defense. The old saying was defense wins championships. That's when you see a great team now. When you have a balance of both. You have a team that can beat you in the half court. You have a team that can slow you down and defend and win games, still scoring 90, 95 points. But yeah, it's fun to watch Steph Curry, to me, go and shoot 23s and make 14 of them and kind of go nuts and shoot from half court. Like, that's just how the game has evolved. And like, it's an adapt or die league. Like, you have to be able to adjust. You have to be able to learn on the fly. You have to be able to stick with the times. And nowadays, those are the times. Everything's new with social media and the whole world. Three-point shooting, playing that fast, that is today's NBA. So you have to be able to master that.
Which team play the better basketball right now?
The best in the NBA?
Yeah.
It's got to be the Boston Celtics. I think they're
they shot a lot of free.
And they shoot the most threes.
More free than two.
But sometimes you'll see when they get a little trigger happy, that then you'll see teams go on runs. And when they go 0 for 8, 0 for 9, 0 for 10 from the three-point line, that allows teams to come back. And their 20-point lead goes to a 7-point lead. So there's got to be a happy medium of this. But the Boston Celtics are another team, but they can win with defense. They can win in the half court. They have a smaller rotation. People are worried about their depth last year, but when you're that strong, 7-8 strong, and you're healthy, that's all that matters.
Let's talk about your career. You've been drafted in 2011 by the Rockets, and your first season was great. After, then your rookie season, you team up with James Harden, and you took a lot of threes too. How was it? How was it to play with the great James Harden?
It was awesome, man. He makes the game so easy. The attention that he creates, just getting double teamed and blitzed and pick and rolls. All I had to do is basically just stand like this, let him do his thing, kind of lull you to sleep. He'd kick, and then I was able to kind of play off the catch or play off him. Not being the #1 guy on the scouting report, you can really benefit from that. So he is an aggressive scorer. He's one of the more creative, innovative scorers. We talk about Steph Curry, how he kind of changed the game. So did James Harden. James Harden changed the game, how it's officiated. James Harden kind of mastered that step back early that every kid wants to do now, how he brings the ball and kind of creates contact. So he's super creative, and he's one of the, kind of the new innovative offensive minds too. That's unbelievable, and we take him for advantage. He's still, look at him now on the Clippers. He's still balling. He's still efficient. He
looks in peace.
He's happy. He's a lot of time. It's funny. The NBA, it's different. Everybody's talented, right? So it's do you play hard? Like, because half the time you can win a game in the NBA just by simply playing harder than the other team, and can you stay healthy? It's such a long season. 82 games, the preseason, the postseason, goes all the way to June. Starts in October. So it's a grind. It's a long season, but when you look at these older guys like the James Hardens, the Steph Currys, Kevin Durant, LeBron James, how can you not admire and respect what they've done, just the simple longevity of it?
There are more and more players play after 35, 36, 40 for LeBron.
It's crazy. I'm 36. I can barely stand up. I don't know how the fuck these guys do it.
Man, it's amazing to see LeBron, KD, Chris Paul.
Insane. And that just speaks volumes of their work ethic. That speaks volumes of their off-season regiments and training, of how they're just so detailed. Like, I played with Dirk Nowitzki and Vince Carter, these guys that played forever. It doesn't just happen magically. It goes into their diet. It goes into their routines, their training. They're the first guys there, last guys to leave. And that's such a cliche saying, but it's true. Like LeBron James doesn't just wake up and go get 30 and 10 and 7. There's a process. He's the first one to the arena at a 7:30 game. LeBron's there at like 1:30. Like, he's there before the rookies. He's there before the 10-day contract guys. That is how you sustain a long career. That is how you stay healthy. He spends millions of dollars on his body, his health. Like, so it's in a incredible quality to have, where I respect a lot. Because like I said, I had a bunch of knee problems and surgeries. I'm 36 years old and work out, and I'm in pain right now sitting on this. I don't know how they do it. It's crazy.
You were a shooter. You are a shooter. You're still a shooter. You will kill the game in this era, no? Right?
The which one?
You will kill the game in this area.
Oh man!
With a lot of spacing like this.
Yeah, like I said, like when I played, I wasn't the most aggressive scorer. I kind of took what the defense gave me. I wouldn't really take a lot of bad shots. I would play within the offense. Nowadays, the offense is just, it's wider, it's more open, it's faster, like I said. So yeah, if I took 4 or 5 threes a game and I was a 40% three-point shooter, now I would take 10 to 15 threes a game, because that's just what the league calls for. So it would be interesting. I could be a center now. I could be a stretch 5. I started being a stretch 4 at the end of my career, but I could always handle it, so I could be a guard. So yeah, someone with my type of game. You look at like a Franz Wagner from Orlando. Just versatile, Swiss Army knife, can do it all, can handle it, or can set the screen, can slip, can pop. He creates mismatches. And those kind of players that are 6'7" to 6'10", that can handle, dribble, and shoot, those are the ones that become stars.
You play for the Rockets, then trade with the Mavs, and you signed a big contract with the Grizzlies.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you was injured a lot. How is it hard to have a big contract and bad mouthing by the press?
Yeah, it's just something you kind of tune out, you block out. You understand yourself, how hard you work, how much time you've put into this game, and you know, your blood, sweat, and tears. And sometimes it's not enough. And you look at Zion Williamson right now. He's doing all the right things. He hires a chef. He does this training, and he's still hurt. Kawhi Leonard still hurt. Joel Embiid. It's just unfortunate breaks where that's just part of the business, where some players just can't have that luck to stay healthy. So I think as long as you know that you did all the right things, you put the time in, you can sleep peacefully, no matter, because the media is always going to be the media, right? There's always going to be someone questioning you, your character, your work ethic, you know, what you stand for. But those are all people that don't know you. Those are all people that don't know everything that goes into it. And nowadays with social media and Twitter trolls, everybody has a voice. Everybody has an opinion. But the sooner you realize that none of them fucking matter, you're in better shape.
So something funnier to close this interview. I remember your story with Kobe and the party. What can you say about being an NBA player and party in all this city around the country? Yeah,
that's a perk. That's definitely, and I took full advantage. I took full advantage of that. I like to have a good time. And I think you get so caught up in the season and the pressure and the expectations that everybody you have on yourself, that your family has, that your coaches have, that the fans, the media, everybody has all these expectations, which kind of create this fake pressure in your head. So I had great vets when I came into the league. I had a great coach, Kevin McHale, when I came into the league. It's important to enjoy yourself. It's important to have a balance of having fun, letting your hair down every now and then. And there's great cities all in America, all around the world, and a lot of NBA towns that are awesome places that we're lucky enough to travel and get paid a lot of money to play basketball. Most people can't say that. Most people hate their job. NBA players don't. So I think it's extremely important to enjoy it and understand that it doesn't last forever. It comes and goes super fast, and you have to have fun or you're missing the point.
This party set up by Kobe was your best party ever as an NBA player?
Oh man.
For free, huh? For free too.
Free helps. And this was before I really got paid, so it really helped. I don't think I could have afforded that back then. This was just awesome because you hear so many stories about Kobe Bryant, how he's an asshole and he's not very nice. And he says he's talking to me during the game and were you staying the night tonight? And I'm like looking at him, like I've had posters on this guy on my wall, and I'm like, why is he asking me if I'm staying the night here? And so you've told the story before, but you just end up at this club and he sets me up. His assistant or security guard texts me and kind of gets us the best table at this club in LA back in the day. Bring the whole team. We had coaching staff there. I remember JB Bickerstaff, the coach of the head coach of the Pistons. Yeah, he was my assistant. He was with me. Everybody. And I'm 21 years old. I'm a young kid. Check comes to me and I'm like, oh shit, like I can't afford this. Like, and it was like $20-something thousand. I said, it was the craziest feeling, like having one of your role models, your idol is Kobe Bryant, like, and then they give you the checks, they sign for Mr. Bryant. It was a unbelievable moment. I'll never forget.
Do you know why he did that?
You know Fabrice, his guy Behrens. That's how I kind of knew Kobe, because the whole Germany, Regina Kind thing. So I worked with Behrens as my osteopath. Kobe, obviously, that was his guy. So I had some sort of a relationship with him, but not really. It was just a crazy act of kindness where after the game, he said to the media, I love this kid. The way he plays, he's going to have a great career. So he always just was, you know, filled with compliments for me, which obviously gave me an enormous amount of confidence early on in my career. And then he paid a $20,000 bill. That helps too. But nah, man, we lost a good one way too early. Just hope he's resting in peace because he's an absolute legend. There will never be another Kobe.
Last thing, like you know, we come from France. I want your opinion about Victor Wembanyama. Everybody talk about him. He shoot a lot of threes. He tried to find his own way to play. What do you think about him?
First of all, we've never seen anyone like Victor Wembanyama with his size, his length, his skill set. He's an absolute freak of nature, and he's in the right system with the San Antonio Spurs. Is a great organization with, you know, the history of Tony Parker and, you know, Greg Popovich. Hopefully he's healthy, but he's always going to be in his corner. So he couldn't have went to a better situation to develop. But man, he's a rare breed. He's going to win multiple Defensive Players of the Year. He's going to win MVPs. I hope the Spurs, which I know that they always do, they're going to surround him with the right pieces. And I just want to see him do it on a big stage. I want to see him do it in the playoffs. I want to see him do it on a good, relevant team, which he will. But, I mean, yeah, give him 2-3 years. He's the best player in the NBA, no question.
Thank you, Chandler. It was a pleasure, man.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
I'm sure people from Cholet will be happy to have some news about you.